Your body is aging better than most people. Welcome back. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You get out of bed without thinking. You walk to the kitchen. You make your morning coffee. You carry the laundry basket. You bend down to tie your shoes. You climb a flight of stairs. And none of it feels like a challenge. Most of us never stop to appreciate those moments. Because when your body works well, it works quietly. But when something begins to change, it rarely happens all at once. Strength fades a little. Balance becomes less certain. Walking gets a little slower. You avoid certain activities without even realizing why. And one day, you discover that the freedom you always took for granted doesn't feel quite the same anymore. Here's what many people don't realize. Healthy aging isn't simply about living longer. It's about protecting the ability to live life on your own terms. To travel when you want. Play with your grandchildren. Carry your own groceries. Walk through your favorite park. And wake up every morning knowing your body is still working with you, not against you. The encouraging news is this. Scientists studying healthy aging have found that your body gives clear clues about how well it's aging long before serious problems appear. Many of those clues have nothing to do with wrinkles, gray hair, or the number on your birthday cake. Instead, they show up in the small things you do every single day. And the best part? Many of these abilities can improve, even if you're already in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Today, we're going to explore 7 powerful signs that your body is aging remarkably well, based on what researchers have learned about strength, mobility, brain function, and long-term independence. But stay with me until the end, because the final sign is one that many people completely overlook. Yet it may reveal more about your future independence than almost any routine medical test. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. How old are you? And which country are you watching from? Leave a comment below. It's always inspiring to see this community connecting from all over the world. Now, let's begin with a story. The quiet difference. A few years ago, 2 friends retired within weeks of each other. Both were 71. Both enjoyed gardening. Both had slightly high blood pressure that was well controlled. On paper, their health looked almost identical. But 5 years later, their lives couldn't have been more different. One still traveled with his wife. He walked every morning. He carried his own shopping bags. He spent weekends chasing his grandchildren around the backyard. The other slowly stopped doing those things. Not because of one major illness, but because of several small changes. After a minor stumble, he became less confident walking outside. He started taking the elevator instead of the stairs. He avoided longer walks. His muscles gradually weakened. His balance declined. Within a few years, simple daily activities required help. The difference wasn't luck. It wasn't genetics alone. It was the gradual loss of physical abilities that often disappear so slowly we barely notice them. That's something doctors who care for older adults see every day. The body usually whispers, long before it shouts. The question is, are we listening? It all begins with the way you walk. You still walk with energy and confidence. If researchers had to choose one everyday movement that reflects the health of your entire body, many would choose walking. That may sound surprising. After all, walking feels simple. But inside your body, it's one of the most complex activities you perform every day. Every step requires your brain to process information, your eyes to guide your direction, your heart to pump oxygen-rich blood, your lungs to supply fresh oxygen, your muscles to generate power, your joints to move smoothly, and your balance system to make hundreds of tiny corrections every single minute. That's why many geriatric specialists refer to walking speed as a functional vital sign. Not because walking fast guarantees a long life, but because changes in the way you walk often reflect changes happening throughout the entire body. Large studies have found that older adults who maintain a comfortable, confident walking pace generally remain healthier and more independent than those whose walking speed gradually slows over time. The important word here is gradually. Most people don't wake up one morning walking much slower. It happens little by little. A shorter stride, longer pauses, more hesitation, until eventually, family members notice it before they do. Here's the encouraging part. Walking speed is surprisingly adaptable. Research consistently shows that regular walking, especially when you occasionally increase your pace for short periods, can improve endurance, leg strength, heart health, and overall mobility, even later in life. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need a gym membership. You simply need consistency. Even a brisk 20 to 30-minute walk on most days can make a meaningful difference when it's appropriate for your health. So here's a simple challenge. Tomorrow morning, pay attention to the way you walk. Do you move with purpose? Do your steps feel smooth and confident? Or have you quietly started slowing down without realizing it? Sometimes, the first step toward healthier aging is simply noticing where you are today. And while walking tells us a great deal about the health of the entire body, there's another surprisingly simple ability that may reveal something even deeper. It isn't measured by your legs, your heart, or your lungs. It starts with something you use every single day, your hands. And what they quietly reveal about your future may surprise you. But walking is only part of the story. Your hands are still strong. Think about everything your hands do before lunchtime. You twist open a jar, carry grocery bags, hold a grandchild's hand, push yourself out of a chair, turn a doorknob, pick up a cup of coffee without thinking. These moments seem ordinary until they become difficult. That's why researchers pay surprisingly close attention to something called grip strength. At first glance, it sounds too simple to matter. How could squeezing a handle tell us anything important? The answer is, because your hands rarely weaken alone. As we grow older, muscles throughout the body gradually lose strength, a natural process known as sarcopenia. Often, one of the earliest places this becomes noticeable is in the hands. That's why grip strength has become one of the most widely studied markers of healthy aging. Research has linked stronger grip strength with better physical function, greater independence, and healthier aging overall. Of course, a strong handshake doesn't guarantee perfect health, but it often reflects something much bigger: the body's overall strength reserve. Think of it like the battery indicator on your phone. It doesn't tell you everything, but it gives you a quick picture of how much power is still available. The encouraging news? Muscles continue responding to training throughout life. People in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, can build meaningful strength with regular resistance exercise. You don't need complicated gym machines, resistance bands, light dumbbells, bodyweight exercises, gardening, carrying shopping bags safely, standing up from a chair several times in a row. These simple activities all challenge your muscles in healthy ways. The goal isn't to impress anyone. It's to keep opening jars, lifting grandchildren, carrying luggage, and living independently for years to come. So here's something to think about. If someone handed you 2 grocery bags today, would carrying them into the house feel easy, comfortably challenging, or surprisingly difficult? Your answer may reveal more than you think. But strength alone isn't enough. Because even powerful muscles can't do their job without something else quietly working behind the scenes. The system that delivers oxygen to every cell in your body. And when that system stays healthy, almost everything else becomes easier. Strength alone isn't enough. You recover quickly after physical activity. Have you ever noticed how 2 people of exactly the same age can climb the same flight of stairs, yet have completely different experiences? One reaches the top, still talking comfortably. The other stops, leans on the railing, and needs several minutes to catch their breath. That difference often reflects something called cardiorespiratory fitness. In simple terms, it's how efficiently your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels, and your muscles work together to deliver oxygen where it's needed most. Think of your heart as the engine, your lungs as the air supply, your blood vessels as the highways, and your muscles as the workers waiting for fuel. When all of those systems work efficiently together, everyday life simply feels easier. Walking the dog, shopping, traveling, playing with grandchildren, doing yard work, even recovering after an illness. Research has repeatedly shown that people with better cardiorespiratory fitness tend to remain physically capable and independent for longer as they age. While no single measurement can predict an individual's future, aerobic fitness remains one of the strongest indicators of healthy aging that researchers have identified. Here's what makes this especially encouraging. Unlike your birth date, fitness is something you can improve. Your body continues adapting throughout life. Even people who begin exercising later in life often experience meaningful improvements in endurance and cardiovascular health. You don't need to become a marathon runner. You don't need exhausting workouts. In fact, consistency matters far more than intensity. A brisk walk, swimming, cycling, dancing, anything that gently raises your heart rate on a regular basis can strengthen this system over time. Think about it this way. Every walk you take, every extra minute you stay active, You're sending your body an important message. Stay strong. Keep adapting. I still need you. And remarkably, the body often responds. Now here's a simple question. After climbing one flight of stairs, how quickly does your breathing return to normal? 30 seconds? 1 minute? Several minutes? That small observation can provide valuable insight into your current fitness. But while a healthy heart helps keep you moving, there's another ability that often determines whether you stay on your feet in the first place. And for many older adults, losing it changes life almost overnight. We'll explore that next. You can keep your balance when life catches you off guard. Most people never think about balance until the day they almost lose it. You step off a curb, turn quickly when someone calls your name, reach for a plate on the top shelf, walk across a wet sidewalk after it rains. These moments last only seconds, but they require extraordinary teamwork inside your body. Your eyes constantly scan your surroundings. Your inner ear senses every tiny movement. Special receptors in your feet tell your brain exactly where your body is in space. Your muscles react instantly, and your brain combines all of that information in a fraction of a second. When everything works together, you barely notice it. But as we age, each part of that system can gradually become less efficient. That's one reason falls become more common later in life. And according to public health research, falls remain one of the leading causes of serious injury and loss of independence in older adults. But here's the part many people never hear. Poor balance is not simply something you have to accept. Like strength, balance can improve with practice. Simple exercises performed safely can help retrain your body. Standing on one leg while holding a sturdy chair, walking heel to toe, gentle tai chi, light strength training, even practicing getting in and out of a chair with good control. These activities challenge the systems that help keep you upright. Here's a simple challenge. Stand beside a kitchen counter. Rest one hand lightly on the surface if needed. Lift one foot a few inches off the ground. How steady do you feel? Don't compare yourself to someone else. Compare yourself to who you were 6 months ago. Because healthy aging isn't about perfection. It's about continuing to improve. And speaking of movements that reveal more than they appear to, the next one combines strength, balance, mobility, flexibility, and coordination into a single everyday action. It may be one of the most revealing movements your body performs. You can get up from the floor without needing help. Imagine this. You're sitting on the living room floor with your grandchild. You're building a puzzle together, reading a story, or playing with toy blocks. Then it's time to stand up. For some people, it's almost effortless. For others, it's the hardest movement they'll make all day. Why? Because getting up from the floor isn't just about strong legs. It requires healthy hips, a stable core, good balance, flexible joints, coordination, and enough confidence to shift your body weight safely. That's why researchers have studied this movement for years. It challenges nearly every major system involved in independent living. Think of it as a full body function check, without any machines. Let me share a story. A retired teacher in her mid-70s once admitted something that surprised her family. She loved spending time with her grandchildren, but whenever they asked her to sit on the floor and play, she always found an excuse. One evening her daughter gently asked why. She smiled, then quietly said, "I'm not afraid of sitting down. I'm afraid I won't be able to get back up." That one sentence changed everything. With guidance from her healthcare provider, she began practicing simple sit-to-stand exercises, gentle squats, light strength training. Nothing extreme, just steady progress. A few months later, she joined her grandchildren on the floor again, and when playtime was over, she stood up confidently, not perfectly, not effortlessly, but independently. Sometimes, the biggest victories in healthy aging aren't measured in years. They're measured in moments like this. The freedom to keep saying yes to everyday life. If getting up from the floor feels difficult today, don't think of it as failure. Think of it as valuable information. Because the body has an incredible ability to adapt when it's challenged safely and consistently. Now here's something fascinating. Even if you're physically strong, even if your balance is good, another ability can quietly slow down without you noticing. You may not recognize it until one unexpected moment demands it. And when that moment comes, every fraction of a second matters. Now let's turn our attention to something even more remarkable. Your reaction time is still sharp. Imagine you're walking through a grocery store. Someone accidentally drops a glass bottle. It rolls directly into your path. Without consciously thinking, your eyes spot the danger. Your brain instantly understands what's happening. Your nerves send signals at incredible speed. Your muscles respond, and you step safely around it. The entire process takes less than a second. Yet that single moment depends on one of the most remarkable systems in the human body. Healthy communication between your brain, your eyes, your nerves, and your muscles. As we grow older, those signals naturally become a little slower. That doesn't mean sharp reactions disappear. In fact, research suggests that staying physically active, challenging your brain with new activities, sleeping well, and maintaining social connections may help preserve both cognitive and physical function as we age. Think about people who dance regularly, play table tennis, practice pickleball, or even learn a new hobby later in life. These activities don't just exercise the body. They force the brain and body to communicate faster and more accurately. Every time you react to an unexpected movement, catch something before it falls, or quickly regain your balance after a small stumble, your nervous system is performing thousands of calculations in the background. The encouraging news? Reaction time isn't fixed. Your brain continues building new neural connections throughout life. The more safely you challenge it, the more efficiently those pathways can continue working. Now ask yourself one simple question. When something unexpected happens, do you react with confidence? Or do you often feel like your body responds a moment too late? That answer may reveal more about healthy aging than you realize. But we've saved the most important sign for LST, because you can have strong muscles, a healthy heart, good balance, and quick reactions. Yet without this final ability, maintaining independence becomes much harder. Finally, there's one quality that brings everything together. You recover, adapt, and keep moving forward. People who age exceptionally well, it's not that they never get sick. They don't avoid every injury. They don't have perfect bodies. What truly sets them apart is their ability to recover. After an illness, here's something remarkable about them. They gradually rebuild their strength. After surgery, they work patiently through rehabilitation. After a setback, they don't give up moving. They adapt. Doctors sometimes describe this as physical resilience. Your body's ability to handle stress, recover, and continue functioning despite life's challenges. Research consistently shows that maintaining regular physical activity, eating enough protein, sleeping well, and staying socially connected all contribute to better resilience as we grow older. Think of your body like a young tree. A healthy tree doesn't stay perfectly still during a storm. It bends, it adjusts, then it stands tall again. Our bodies work in much the same way. Healthy aging isn't about avoiding every challenge. It's about developing the strength to recover from them. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson of all. Final thoughts. If you can still walk with confidence, carry everyday objects comfortably, recover quickly after physical activity, maintain your balance, stand up from the floor with control, react quickly when life surprises you, and continue bouncing back after setbacks, you're doing far more than simply getting older. You're protecting something priceless, your independence. Remember, none of these abilities are reserved for elite athletes. They're built through ordinary choices, repeated consistently, a daily walk, a few strength exercises each week, practicing your balance, choosing movement instead of sitting a little more often. Small habits may not feel dramatic today, but over the years, they can become the difference between depending on others and continuing to live life on your own terms. No matter your age, your body is still listening to how you treat it, and in many cases, it's ready to become stronger than you think. If you found today's video helpful, tell us in the comments. Which of these 7 signs do you feel most confident about, and which one would you like to improve? Your story could encourage someone else to take that first step today. If you enjoy evidence-based health tips designed to help you stay active, independent, and healthy for years to come, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself. Keep moving. Keep challenging your body. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.